Okay, ladies, welcome to August. We're a little late getting started on this, and I say up front in case so I don't forget, but we won't have a September meal prep class. I'll be eating all the food in Europe. So I'll share pictures and
Please do.
and you guys can be like, whatever. So but we will have I think it's October 1st, maybe, is the meal prep class. So it'll be right away in October. So we've roughly got, 7 weeks till the next one. That's not too bad. Okay, so we're gonna start today with our Fro-Yo. It's peanut butter. It wasn't your fave. There's lots of other options in the what am I calling it? Blog. There was like a chocolate-based one. I feel like I need to mute that. It's Sue. Okay. It's always Sue. So, so there's lots of Fro-Yo options on the blog. There's lots of Shakeology dessert options on the blog. They are putting out so many amazing things. And so if the peanut butter combo wasn't your jam, or we talked about in the chat, if you didn't have cookies and cream, this peanut butter version is going to be awesome with chocolate, cafe latte, vanilla. You can always switch it up a little bit if you didn't want to use banana and you want to use strawberries, however you want to do it, right? Just use the same portions. And then the other piece of this one is the yogurt. So some of us are coming off gut protocol. Some of us are staying on gut protocol, however you're managing things, and maybe you're just not doing dairy. So you can use a coconut, soy, cashew, whatever other alternative yogurt you'd like to use. You're just going to figure out the container for that, right? So if it's a coconut yogurt, you're still going to use the same amount, but it's going to be a blue and not a red. Okay.
So question about that. I'm not making it, but just in case someone else should ask and they watch this. So the coconut yogurt and the almond yogurt based yogurts are going to be thinner than like a Greek yogurt. So
yeah.
What's going to need to happen for that?
Not anything. The Shakeology will help thicken things up. And because we're freezing it, it might just be a little harder. It really depends on the fat content in there, how hard it is frozen. But I really don't think you're going to notice too much of a difference with this.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to share the recipe and we'll get started. Where's my share button? There we go. Okay. And then let's look at the containers really quick on this one too, just to see where we're at. Okay, so one purple, that's your banana, one red, that's going to be the combination of Shakeology and the yogurt, because this is 2 servings. So you're using like 1 scoop of each, basically 1 container of each. And then the 1.5 teaspoons is going to include those cocoa nibs and the peanut butter. And if anybody can actually only do 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, I'm gonna be super impressed, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a little heavy-handed on that one. And again, if you want to use, almond butter, whatever nut butter you want to use for this is going to be just fine. So let's scoot it up here to the directions. We'll get started. Is anybody doing an alternate flavor?
I'm using the chocolate Shakeology.
Nice. I think that'll be really good. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. Recover is also another option for this, right? So then you're like, you're getting a little bit more protein even, because Shakeology is 17 grams a serving and Recover is going to be 20 grams. So, if you like, you could do the orange one, you could do the chocolate one, either way. I'm gonna go with vanilla on this one. I think I do have cookies and creamy, but I don't know, the vanilla sounded better today.
That 1 teaspoon of cacao nibs really seems a little limiting in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
You know, measure with your heart, measure with your heart.
I always do, Deanna, especially to my peanut butter. Sue knows.
You know, I'm thinking, okay, my yogurt powder mix is feeling really thick. So I think it's actually going to be easier if your coconut yogurt is a little better. Tastes good though. I might, you know, I think I'm gonna save and put my cocoa nibs on top with the peanut butter instead of mixed in. Did they mix it in or did they put it on top? Okay, they mixed it in. And I think I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of coconut oil before I put it on. We're gonna be hitting 100 tomorrow. Is everybody else hot too, or are you into regular temperatures?
It's been 95 here.
This is gonna
It's
be
very,
like the
yeah,
perfect dessert.
it's very warm.
Okay, I will say with the parchment paper and the coconut oil, it's a little bit dicey trying to spread this out. Takes a little finesse.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey Kim, we're just getting started on the Fro-Yo.
Yeah, I've been listening for a couple minutes. It sounds great.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see that you hopped on. I never moved my thing. You know what? I only have you guys on a little list on the side.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just getting acclimated. I went to like lie down for 20 minutes and I slept like 2.5 hours. So
Oh man,
drinking some Energized to wake back up.
perfect. Yeah, I got my matcha latte going.
I'm actually gonna make chocolate peanut butter popsicles. And I was thinking, Marianne, that, you know, when I see that little teaspoon for peanut butter, I usually can't see it really well. And I think it's really a tablespoon.
Oh yeah, I blow right through it, Kim. Don't worry, and I can see it. I see it just fine. I'm like, no, I don't need that negativity in my life.
That's right. I don't need anybody restricting me in my peanut butter.
That's right. It's a damn superfood. I'm gonna start getting it by the 3-pack from Wild Friends, I think.
Are you? So what's your favorite flavor? Just the regular peanut butter?
Oh, that's what I'm gonna go with. I really like when they do their specialties, but they're much, you know, that's really got a lot of stuff. Like their cookie dough was great, their cookie dough peanut butter or whatever
Yeah,
they,
cookie
well,
dough
of course,
and sugar.
you know,
Yeah.
that's probably like eating ice cream more than peanut butter. But one of the reasons I'm gonna switch to them is because Justin's, which I love dearly, has palm oil in it. And
It
I'm
does.
thinking I'll try it with without the palm oil.
Yep. This one, yeah, this one's my favorite. It's the peanut cashew. Where's my screen? I can't see if you
Oh
can-
yeah, the cashew. I just saw that. I
Yeah,
was
And
wondering.
it's got honey, flax, and chia in it. So it's got a little added sugar. It's got 2 grams of added sugar.
Mhm.
But oh my gosh, the flavor on this is just amazing.
Oh shoot, now I'm gonna have to try that.
That's super good. All right, now I need to get my banana in here. Oh man, this one is green. Oh, did someone else just join? Or did it just move?
No, that was me. My internet went out.
Okay.
I'm back.
What else am I missing? What's going on? I don't know, this is more like a half a purple on here, this little tiny banana.
So I saw the to be mindset comment on this recipe and it said, eat both servings as, excuse me, like for breakfast. And then I
Yes,
was
I saw
kind
that.
of surprised that this was only 2 servings.
Well, you could definitely make it 1 just because, well, depending on how big of your banana is. But then also you just have 2 reds. So I think they tried to do it just because it's 1, you know what I mean, for 1 red.
Yeah. Got to bring back the Snicker bars at some point, Deanna.
Oh man, yeah, those things are amazing.
Guess what I'm making right now instead of what you guys are doing?
Snickers bars.
Yeah, that's what I'm making.
We should
Those
share
are my
that
favorite.
recipe again.
Do you want me to share it?
Yeah,
I'll
share it
share
in
it.
the group. And I suppose, we should probably merge back again just to our nutrition group.
Okay. I'll share it in that.
Oh, I forgot to video my bananas here.
All right, dumb question, but is 1 pack of Shakeology 2/3 cup?
No,
What is,
it's a 1/4 cup.
so 1 pack is 1/4 cup?
Oh, I got a little spot that doesn't have peanut butter. Let's get you filled in here, buddy.
So I got really peanut butter happy and mixed it in before I put it on the parchment. And then I was like, well, I've just committed to this, so that's what I'm doing. I don't think it'll really make a difference, but I'll let you know.
Report back. This is how mine's looking.
Oh, that looks really pretty.
I did my cocoa nibs on the top. Okay, now I am not gonna do the plastic wrap tightly wrapped on top because then it's gonna smash all my peanut butter. So I'm just gonna stick mine in my chest freezer so it kind of freezes quickly. And then I'll, just wrap up the rest after it's frozen. I think you just don't want to leave it in there in the freezer unwrapped for an extended period of time because then it might absorb some of the smells and flavors of the freezer.
So just like overnight?
I'd let it go for like an hour or two and then you could wrap it.
All right.
It just depends on how you feel about everything not looking smushed. If that's a concern. Okay, then we'll let it go in the freezer. Oh, it says you can do airtight container for up to a month. But since this is 2 servings, I can't imagine this is gonna really last that long. Are we
Oh my
ready for recipe number 2? What's up, Kim?
This batter for the popsicles tastes like brownie batter. It's like,
bet.
Oh,
I could just eat it like that. It's just milk, chocolate Shakeology, and a little bit of peanut butter.
Yum.
Oh, and this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one.
Does anybody else need this recipe right now? I was looking, okay, I'm looking at the size of this. I think mine are gonna be fairly thick just because I did it in a much smaller pan and still couldn't spread it out super thin, so. All right, so we'll go on to our apple, fennel, arugula, mason jar salad. I'm just gonna put mine in a bowl today because I'm gonna have it for lunch. So let's go down, look at the containers really quick. So this is one of those recipes where if you are meal prepping for it, you put your dressing in first and then layer your ingredients in. And then on the day you're going to eat it, or like maybe a couple minutes before you're going to eat it, you just flip it over so that the dressing runs down over everything. And then you can just eat it out of there or pour it into a bowl. So 1.5 greens, a half purple, that's going to be your apple, a half blue, that's the pecans and the dressing together, and then a teaspoon.
If you don't have a mason jar and you want to meal prep, how would you suggest going about that?
You could do 2 ways, right? You could make the dressing and just put it in something separate.
Okay.
And just know that you're going to use 1/4 of it because this one's 4 servings. Or you could do some other type of meal prep glass container.
Mhm.
Do the same layering, just put that dressing on the bottom, layer your apples and your fennel first because they'll take on the dressing easier than lettuce would.
Well, and you can probably also put the the lettuce in a separate container, or you like, for example, like I got it in this. So I can leave it in here, measure out the lettuce and then add it when I make the.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. You could meal prep all like as far as prepping, like cut everything, right? Have them in containers and then just put it together as you're eating it kind of thing too.
Okay.
Yeah. Just whatever works for you on that one. And so on this recipe, they are putting the apples into a little bit of salt water. So that's going to just keep them from browning as they sit for your meal prep. So if you're eating it right away, you don't necessarily have to do that. If you are going to have the apples cut for a while, then you'll want to do that step too. And you can also use lemon juice too, if you like that.
I have these round meal prep salad container, and so I was just going to meal prep this where I was going to put the dressing at the bottom and then layer it at the top.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. Confession time too. I got a pink lady. I did not get a Granny Smith because I can't stand Granny Smiths. So I got an apple that I know I like. So, and for this dressing too, I'm going to make all of it in a mason jar, I'll just get a small pint mason jar, and then I can just shake it and use it as I like, kind of a thing. And that's what I did. Like I made the ginger miso dressing yesterday. So now it's just in the fridge. That way, right before I use it, I can shake it up again, mix this together just great, and it's ready to roll. And looking at the ratios, this is going to be pretty vinegary because it's a 1 cup of vinegar. A lot of dressings like on the Ultimate Reset are equal parts oil and vinegar. This is much higher in the vinegar. So if you don't enjoy that flavor, you may want to change that ratio just a little bit. But there is honey to balance it out too. Is anybody, I should ask, is anybody doing this salad? Do you do fennel? Have you done fennel before? Have you had fennel?
I'm gonna try it when we get back home. I didn't want to buy it here.
Mhm.
So I look forward to hearing what you guys think of it.
It has a anise flavor.
Yep. And I love that, so,
Yeah, it's like a combination of anise and celery.
yeah.
I tried it in the reset. It's not one of my favorites.
What did you have it in the reset, Kim? What recipe?
I think it's just fennel. Like it's
Roasted
That's
fennel
probably-
bulbs.
yeah, let me look it up.
Yes, it is. It's roasted fennel bulbs. I'm with you, Kim. Yes, that was the first time we ever did the reset. We did every single recipe because back then, when it first came out, they were like, you really need to follow the plan exactly to a T. So we made every single recipe. Literally, we felt like we were cooking our entire lives away. But the night we made fennel, we had it in the oven and we were prepping our food for the next day for lunch. And we're like, what is that smell? What is that? Do you smell black licorice? I'm like, what is that?
That's so funny.
And we mustered our way through it and never again.
So I have to tell you, Bev, every time I see bok choy now, because it's larger, like I was getting the small bok choy, but I think about you and how you were getting this massive thing of bok choy and you were just like, I was chewing for days.
Yep. Yep, pretty much. Yep. Well, yeah, and then people will be like, there's not enough food on the ultimate reset. I'm hungry. I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's like so much food, like, because it just says, one bok choy, and it's like,
You're like, my bok choys are this big. That's one meal in itself.
oh, I don't see what the problem is. I've got so much food.
My jaw is tired. I remember that the first couple days, like my jaw would be like sore.
Yeah, from chewing all those salads.
Yeah.
Yep, the microgreen salad. That was we made the microgreen salad a lot.
A lot. Yep.
I'm so
made
glad
the
that
Greek salad.
international cookbook came out because I sub the recipes for that so much. They are so much more delicious.
Yep.
Oh my God, you guys, I saw Darren Olien and Zac Efron's Down to Earth again. They had a second season.
Yeah.
And in the second episode, Darren actually makes Shakeology in the car with a blender.
That's
Um,
awesome.
It's so
In
funny.
the intro of that, Kim, do you see him packing his Shakeology?
Yeah, he packs
I
his
like
Shakeology.
I froze it, like I kept pausing it. I'm like, that is, and then I got really
That's so
super
cool.
excited.
I know, I got so excited. And then in the scene where they're making it in the car, then Zach says something like, oh yeah, Darren also made is the co-creator of this superfood and he likes to talk about it. And you start to hear Darren say like, it's got ashwagandha and blah, blah, blah. And Zach just puts on his headphones.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it in season 1, but I can't remember when it was. Because I haven't watched all of season 2 yet. Okay, well, this apple isn't too far from a Granny Smith. Not very, it's not very ripe.
I have just recently switched over to only organic pink ladies because my husband's like, you really should just switch over to the organic. It's only like 79 cents difference when you buy the bags. Just do it. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I did it. And now like they're always ripe. They're always ready to go. They're hardly ever like any type of bitterness to them at all.
What are they?
Organic pink lady apples.
Oh, apples. I was like, what are pink ladies?
Yeah, it's funny
It's a
because
cocktail.
I can only do the organic. I do Honeycrisp when they're in season, but I can only do the organic because regular ones make my lips itchy.
Oh, wow. What does that say that they're putting on there?
Right?
Interesting. Yeah, or it's part of the genetically modified engineering that something your body doesn't like.
Yeah, I do get itchy and swollen lips with cherries. And then
Interesting.
sometimes peaches will also affect me.
Very interesting. And is it the same with organic too? Like,
No, I don't. I don't think I've tried the cherry one was enough where I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I didn't need, I just don't
yeah,
even,
it's a little scary.
yeah, because it gets back in my throat too, where it just
Yep.
feels like, everything's swollen. So
Yep.
I've not done it with cherries, but I don't know. I'll have to try. I bought peaches. Yes, I just had one this morning, and I just take the skin off, and then it's usually fine. So I just kind of do it that way. These could have been organic. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna load up my apples and fennel, and I'm lazy, so I did not do the water thing. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of my dressing on them right now because I know I'm gonna have them in a little bit, and that will keep everything from browning.
How did you cut the fennel, Deanna?
I bought a really small bulb, so I just thin sliced it all the way through, and then I went through and cut it in half. So I would just say whatever, like mine are like half moon, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got some circles, and so yeah, I just kind of stick it through your knife that way. Kind of, you want decent sized pieces so that you can know what you're eating. Ooh, that one's anise-y. Okay, and then right before I serve it, I'm gonna stick my lettuce in there, a little bit more dressing, a little salt and pepper. We'll be all set. Oh, and pecans. Are those supposed to be toasted? Let's look here.
Yes.
Does it say to do them or just buy them toasted?
It says toasted. So you
Oh, yeah,
probably
like you
should
buy,
have
you buy
purchased-
them toasted.
yeah.
Yeah,
purchased them that way.
I think these are. They don't taste raw. Okay. All right, how are we doing on this one? Let me know if you need the recipe a little longer. I'm just excited. We're getting to my favorite part, the Bahn Mi burgers. I'll take a latte break here.
I think I need to make one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea.
Highly recommend.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah, the fennel and apple together is going to be really good. Thank you, Sue, for sharing that. Okay, let's go.
Double check it when you get a chance though, because I thought that at one point in time there was something wrong with one of the recipes that I typed out. Maybe that was the miso soup or miso dressing.
There was one missing. There was something missing on the miso dressing.
Yeah, that's what it was. So this is okay. This should be fine.
Okay. All right, let's switch over to the Bahn Mi burgers. So there's a little bit of an extra step in here that I highly recommend doing. I like to marinate that. Now it does talk about marinating them overnight. You can do this kind of quick marinade. It's just not going to be quite as full of flavor. It's where you're taking the daikon radish and the carrots. I'm going to send mine through my mandolin and get a real thin little strip. And then you put it with rice vinegar and a little sugar and let it marinate. So it's kind of like a pickled Vietnamese veggie. And it's super good. It's super good on tacos. Like you can use it on just about anything you want. So I'm going to make some of those quick. Again, have a handy dandy mason jar and you're all set. And then this one also has a sauce, which I have not tried this sauce. It starts with Greek yogurt, hot pepper sauce. And I think the fish sauce, and it must be the cornstarch go into the actual burger. I'm curious, they must do the cornstarch to keep it together because of the liquid you're adding. I'm probably not going to do that. So I'm not going to put mine on the grill. I'm going to put it in a pan in here so it'll fry up just fine. If you're putting it on the grill, you might want it a little thicker so it stays together on the grill when you initially put it on. All right, let's look at the containers real quick. One green, so that's going to be your lettuce wrap and your daikon and carrot mix. One red, obviously, the turkey burger. Half a yellow. Is that the bun you're putting? No, you're not putting it on a bun. Where's the yellow? The cornstarch maybe plus the sugar is my guess. So that's probably your half a yellow.
Another option for the turkey burger, instead of putting the cornstarch, is to keep it solidified, is to make the patty and freeze it. Because they grill up way super better. Like we've stopped doing like immediate cooking of turkey patties years ago because they would just like fall apart and it was just a hot mess. So if you make the patty and you freeze them and then you grill the frozen patties, they are fantastic. Plus then you don't have to, you can have them prepped for months ahead of time if you are that forward thinking.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and anytime you kind of let it make your patty and let it rest too, it kind of forms a little bit better. I'm going to be using ground chicken today. You could totally use this with ground chicken, ground pork. Beef would not taste good, but the other three will taste great. Hopefully nobody has to witness me taking off any digits here with my mandolin. Okay, let's test it out and see where we're at here. Perfect. So this is just making super thin little shreds. And I'll do that with the daikon and with the carrots. And then I'm going to stick them in the mason jar with some vinegar and a little bit of sugar and let them sit. And with that vinegar, I mean, I would, you're at least a week, but you probably could have them for a couple weeks.
So I could not find daikon radish.
Yeah.
However, thanks to the internet and the invention of Google, I read that red radish is actually a substitute for daikon.
Perfect. Yeah, it'll taste really similar. So you could thin slice and just matchstick them.
That's what I'm doing.
You definitely don't want to be going with this guy and these little tiny radishes. Your fingers are not going to come out okay.
Yeah, I just cut them in half and then sliced from there. So they're little half moon shapes.
Yeah. It'll give a great
You
little
and I are
crunch.
using the same thing because my store didn't have daikon either.
Yeah. I went to 2 different stores, Lily, and I'm like, is this like a very obscure type of vegetable I'm looking for? And I didn't think that it was, but apparently.
What's funny, I just got it at our Albertsons. I didn't even have to go to the Asian market.
Well, unfortunately, our store is turned to crap since the new owners took over. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right, let me go find some carrots.
How long are you gonna let yours marinate, Deanna?
Well, I'm gonna cook these burgers right away, and so we will end up pulling some of this out right away. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, because I'm making quite a bit, like here's my daikon. So I'm gonna do just as much carrot. And then, so it'll still be there tomorrow. Even though the turkey burgers, or well, the chicken burgers will likely be gone. Of course, Jack's going camping, so now all my food prep will probably stay around just a little bit longer. Your vegetables will end up a little crunchier, the sooner you use them, because they'll get just a little bit softer. They won't be like cabbage, where they're like super soft or anything. But all right, so that's like one carrot, one daikon, both were relatively, normal sized. And so now I'll just put the sugar vinegar mix in there. Oh, yikes, I probably should have bought more rice vinegar. And oddly enough, I have palm sugar. It looks like this. The little disc. And I guess you just grate them. All right, then I ended up with a little bit of sugar. Put that in there. Okay, so I'll stick it in the fridge. I might need just a little more water in there. And I can wait for the turkey burgers. I don't know if you guys use ground chicken a lot, but it's super gross to make into burger patties. But I find the end result, I like the taste and texture a lot better than turkey. So I've been doing way more chicken than turkey when it comes to ground meat.
I agree with you, because that's what I use most of the time as well.
It's just like gummy and weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just got a weird texture to it.
All right, let's get the ingredients in here. Fish sauce. What else is anybody making today?
So I made chicken soup,
Nice.
quinoa, and I'm doing Mediterranean burgers
Yeah.
and broccoli.
Perfect.
I'm doing the sweet potato and roasted red pepper soup. And maybe carrot ginger soup if I have time.
I don't think I made that one.
That's in the international one.
Okay.
in the Indian section.
Okay, I am gonna throw in, I like green onion in these burgers, so I'm gonna throw that in. And I might see if my Thai basil has enough leaves to throw a little bit of that in too. Okay. And I'm skipping the jalapeno because I don't really enjoy them, especially if they're hot. But this, this is a really great place to put a little bit of spice with, especially with the vinegar, and the veggies and stuff. It'll be really delicious. And you can also just kick up the hot sauce in the yogurt if you want it more spicy. I'm tempted to put a little red pepper in here too. I think I'm going to. I think it'll just be, I don't know, be really good with flavors in here.
Can you make the yogurt sauce in ahead of time, or is that something that you could just make when you actually like eat the burger?
Oh, you could totally make it ahead of time. That'll stay good for, normal meal prep time, 4 or 5 days. There's nothing in there that should go bad quickly. I like to have a little extra color. I don't know, whenever I make turkey burgers, I do it with, it's kind of like a Mediterranean burger, but without any dairy and stuff, because I'll do like peppers and oregano, sometimes some olives. If you're having dairy, you could throw some feta in them. But I really like just that red pepper, kind of oregano, garlic combo. Just makes a really good turkey burger. Plus, it's nice to have a little color in it. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna just throw these in a pan. I have a pan that sears pretty well. So I'm just gonna do that. Whip them up real quick, let them cool down. Any leftovers can just go in the fridge. Chicken, so gross. And then I just do a quick little, like, I stick my hand in there and I go across one way and I come back the other way. So I've got 4 burger patties, like essentially sectioned out, and then I make them into patties, if that makes sense. So I just kind of go in and it's like I cut the turkey or cut the chicken and get kind of 4 equal parts. Make my patties.
I just did that.
So did I.
You know, you're already in it. You just get it close enough. I always end up with one that's bigger. One that was a little more ambitious. Okay, apparently I think this pan got smaller. The burgers aren't fitting very well with my add-ins. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna, when I eat this, oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna put cilantro right into the burger. I'll skip that part. But when you build your, lettuce wrap burger, you can add cilantro to the top and some basil, extra basil if you have some from buying it. Your yogurt sauce. They smell really good. And I'm gonna check out my Fro-Yo really quick, see where it's at with. Okay, so the top of it would be hard enough right now that you could put your plastic wrap on now, and it's not even but an hour. The rest of it, it's just the edges are frozen. So yeah, so I'm gonna stick it back in a little longer, have it for my afternoon snack. Does anybody still need this recipe? Yell if you do. Okay, and we have a nutrition call on Thursday of this week. If there's anything specific you guys want to talk about, I know we had some chatter today in the group about doing or tracking and kind of staying on track. So we could definitely talk about that kind of stuff. But if there's something you want to add into the nutrition call, just list it in the groups and we can talk about it on Thursday. And then again, let me check the official date, but I'm pretty sure it's like October 1st.
That's the first Sunday.
It is, okay, yeah, so October 1st will be the next meal prep. If you have requests, especially Shakeology dessert requests that you'd like to try together, let me know. Because we'll be filling.
Voting for a rerun on the Snickers bar, I'm not gonna lie.
The hard part with that one is you can only do part of it here together. Because it's like, there's so many steps to that one, because you have to like freeze the bottom layer, then add in the next layer. And then I ended up, like I started the dipping and I'm like, oh my God, this is too much work. So then I just put a bunch of chocolate on the top of it and cut it. I'm like, I'm good.
That's what I'm doing.
They
Plus,
always
it's
are
not
good.
nearly it's not as much chocolate if you don't dip the whole
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah, because I felt like it was
So
too much chocolate almost.
it really, I mean, that's coming from me. It was too much chocolate.
No such thing.
Mhm. I know, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm doing is I'm just freezing the bottom 2 layers and then I'm just gonna put chocolate on top. So, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
my poor chicken burgers have melded into each other.
How long do you let them cook on each side, Deanna?
Till they're at least 165. So I have a meat thermometer right here, and I always check my turkey and chicken. 165. I poke it in different spots. Because I don't mess around with those two birds. They, I don't want any part of what they've got to give if you undercook. And I find don't ever like smash them, right? Just flip them. Because then there will be juices that stay in there. And if you don't, smash it out and you just let them cool, they'll still stay juicy. So. Okay, well, here, I'll stop recording. We can take our picture.